Dear students, I am Archana Dikshit of CC Shah Sarvajanik English High School. Welcome you all for the science class. We are at the end of the chapter 6 now of Life Processes Part 1, in which we are going to study the last topic, that is excretion. Excretion is a very important process like any other process. Actually, when the biochemical reactions takes place in the body, then waste is also formed, and that waste after certain period becomes toxic, so it has to be removed from the body. So these harmful metabolic wastes are removed from the body, and the whole process by which it is done is called excretion. Thus, excretion can be defined as the process of removal of harmful metabolic waste products from the body of any organism. So, let us see now which substances are there in the metabolic waste. So, metabolic waste are actually excess of water, because whichever water we take, sometimes the excess of water is there in the cells, so that is to be removed. Carbon dioxide, because we take oxygen and give out carbon dioxide, that carbon dioxide is given out by the lungs only, but that is also waste. Then nitrogenous waste are there, which have nitrogen as a main component. So thus we find that metabolic waste are excess water, nitrogenous waste material like urea, uric acid, etc., CO2 gas. So lungs remove the CO2 gas during respiration only. When we exhale the air, CO2 gas is removed. And then the other metabolic waste which are there, they are removed by the kidneys, like nitrogenous waste, excess of water, these. ST waste. Similarly, in plants also waste products are there. In plants, waste products considered to be carbon dioxide during respiration, because they also respire like us only. During daytime, this CO2 is used in photosynthesis, but actually it is a waste of the plants. CO2 during respiration, that's why it is written. Excess water by transpiration process. Resins, you can see gums, resins from the bark of the tree, big trees have that, or white colored substance that is called latex, they are there. CO2 is utilized for photosynthesis. So excess water is removed by transpiration, and these resins, gums, they are stored in the old xylem tissues. Old xylem tissues are dead tissues. And sometimes you see that barks also fall off from the trees, leaves also fall off from the trees or plants, because they contain waste. Now latex, that white substance, is also a waste from the plant. So this way in plants also it takes place. Now we will do about the excretion in animals. Mainly we have to do about the human beings. Excretion in animals, in amoeba, contractile vacuoles are there. They remove the excess water, and whatever uric acid or some nitrogenous waste is there, that is also removed. In humans, the kidneys are there for excretion. So we will study excretion by the kidneys. So you can see that excretion in human beings comprises these. A pair of kidneys, means kidneys are 2 in number, a pair of ureters which arise from kidneys, then one urinary bladder and one opening towards exterior side to relieve the urine, that is urethra. Now you can refer this figure so that you will understand. Here you can see that 2 kidneys are there, bean shaped. You can see the 2 kidneys, and then you see this thin tubule, that is the ureter. Then here crop type, that is urinary bladder, and then urethra, that is thin tubule opening outside, that is the urethra. So this diagram you have to learn, well labeled diagram you have to learn this. This is given in the textbook. From textbook only you have to learn. So keep in mind this figure. So kidneys are reddish brown in color. They are bean shaped and they lie towards back side of the body. Color appears to be reddish brown, bean shaped as you saw in the figure, and back side of the body. Now kidneys are protected by last 2 ribs because it is in the back side of the body, so they are supported by 2 ribs. Then remember, position of right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney. It is because the liver is there in the abdominal side. In the left side liver is also there. In the right kidney is slightly lower because of the presence of the liver. So liver is a gland of digestive system. So because of its position on the right side, it is slightly lower because the abdominal cavity is occupied by the liver. So okay, so what we studied here, excretion in human beings. Excretory system comprises a pair of kidneys, a pair of ureters, urinary bladder and urethra. Now about the kidneys, color reddish brown, shape bean shaped, lie where they do lie, they lie on the back side of the body and they are protected by last 2 pairs of the ribs also. Then position of right kidney is slightly lower than the left kidney, as the right side of the abdominal cavity is occupied by the liver. So this was the position of the kidney. Then we see that kidney are in abdomen and on either side of the backbone, as you can see in this figure also, that it is on the back, either side of the backbone, here and here, either side of the backbone they are found. Ureters transport urine from kidneys to the urinary bladder. They are also 2 in number. Then urinary bladder is a muscular sac, SAC, muscular sac, or you can say muscular bag for urine. Urine remains there. It lies in the lower part of the abdomen, means urinary bladder is in very much lower part of the abdomen, and the neck of the urinary bladder is surrounded by sphincters, muscles, which remain closed until the time of urination. Then comes the urethra. Urethra begins from the neck of urinary bladder and opens outside. Remember that in human male there is common passage for sperms also as well as for urine also. But in human female it is passage only for urine. So that is the difference between male and female. Then the most important thing that comes is the nephron. Nephron is also called uriniferous tubules. It is the functional unit of kidney. Or each kidney has more than 1 million of nephrons. So you can say actually kidney are made up of nephrons only. Actually in nephron urine is filtered and blood and the waste are removed. So nephron is a cluster of very thin blood capillaries. Very thin blood capillaries which are called glomerulus. And the cup shaped structure is called the Bowman's capsule. If you see the figure, you will have the complete idea about this, that it has glomerulus. See, this diagram is there in your book, so you can see that this is the cup shaped structure called Bowman's capsule, and inside there is network of capillaries, that is glomerulus, and one artery will bring this blood here, that is called afferent artery, and one artery will take also after filtration blood, and then they join through capillaries, then they join the vein, and vein joins the inferior vena cava. So this way you can see the figure. When you study this through the video, you have the diagram also along with you, so that it will be clear to you. So you understand the nephron is the functional unit of kidney, and each kidney has more than 1 million of nephrons. Now urine is filtered here only. I told you Bowman's capsule is the cup shaped body, and it is double walled also, as you can see in the structure. Then Bowman's capsule has network of capillaries called glomerulus. An afferent artery brings blood to the glomerulus, and this artery contains the waste like urea. The other end of the glomerulus comes out of Bowman's capsule, and it surrounds the tubule and joins the renal vein. This way, from afferent artery will bring the waste along with blood, and efferent artery will take the blood. Take the blood means waste minus blood, and then through capillaries it will join the renal vein, and renal vein will finally join the inferior vena cava, and it will go to heart. I think you understood role of the artery. Okay, then in the glomerular, blood capillaries are formed by afferent and efferent arterioles. Then these arterioles form the capillaries. Capillaries form the venules, and venules form the veins. And from renal vein it goes to the inferior vena cava. Now filtration takes place in glomerulus because it has network of capillaries. Now nephric tubule is long, coiled and divided mainly into three parts. Proximal convoluted tubule. Proximal convoluted tubule will be which is near the cup shaped. This is proximal. This you can say proximal convoluted tubule. And this is loop of Henle. Here no absorption takes place or reabsorption takes place. Then comes the distal. Then it opens into the main tubule, that is duct. So proximal convoluted tubule, loop of Henle, and distal convoluted tubule. It is called convoluted because it remains coiled. Now the distal convoluted tubule opens into the collecting tubule, and this connecting tubule opens into large collecting duct, and thus urine goes into that. Now, how the urine formation takes place, let us see that. Urine is filtered, and it is called ultrafiltration. Why it is called ultrafiltration? Because since the afferent artery brings the blood, efferent artery takes the blood away minus waste. So this all works, and arteries work under pressure because they are connected to the heart. So the urine formation also takes place under pressure here. That means filtration takes place under pressure. That is why it is called ultrafiltration. Okay. Now glomerulus are the tubules, very thin tubules. They have thin walls also, and they are semi-permeable. So therefore they act as ultrafilters. And they can filter easily because they don't allow all the substances to pass through them. So only waste is passed through them. Now afferent arteriole brings the blood. Again I told you, with the waste, efferent arteriole after filtration takes the blood, and then it will takes the blood to the capillaries. From capillaries it will go to the veins. Useful substances are absorbed. For example, glucose is there, proteins are there, some mineral ions are there. They are absorbed in the proximal convoluted tubule. Then return to the blood containing capillaries. Remaining useful substances are also absorbed in distal convoluted tubule. In loop of Henle, there is no absorption. For example, sodium ions are absorbed in distal convoluted tubule. So all the useful substances, amino acids, sugar, salts, they are absorbed. And now what is left in the collecting duct? Excess water, urea, uric acid, that gets collected in the collecting duct. And now urine goes to the urinary bladder, and from there it is thrown out of the body. Remember that generally the color of the urine is pale yellow. This pale yellow color of the urine is due to one pigment present in it, that is called urochrome. Sometimes when we are sick and we take medicines, because of that also urine color changes. But normal pale yellow color of the urine is due to the pigment urochrome. In this way we end this chapter. You have to learn all the figures: heart, then circulation in the heart, then kidney diagram, then nephron diagram. This all you have to learn. And I hope all of you understood clearly. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the online class. Okay, children? Thank you.